Hey there. So I was getting ready to go live, and just as I was pushing the button, I kind of hit a mask or a filter, and I was like, oh, I don't think I want that to get goofy as I get started here. I was having a great Monday so far, and that could have really changed things up. So I'm just gonna give my iPad a second here to catch up. Hey there, Lisa. That makes me always feel good when I see you're one of the first ones. So then I usually know that that I am live and that somebody's out there. So good. Okay, and I think my iPad's ready. So let me put that down and grab my card. So I'm already at card number 10 of 10. So today is the last day. So if you're considering like, do I want cards, her 10 pack this month or not? Today you will know what all 10 cards look like. And I already have quite a list going. So my desk area keeps getting kind of shorter when I make my videos because I have a lot of the stamps that are just sitting here until I get all the cards made up, and I kind of make sets of this and sets of that and keep everything out. So my room at this point becomes quite a mess. So it's a fun mess though. Doesn't everybody like looking like they're busy? Hey there, Lois and Shelly and Ginger and Carla. Good. So let me show you what card number 10 looks like for today. So I'm making an Easter card because I know at first I was like, I didn't want to put too many Eastery things out there, and I did one earlier in the month, but I didn't want to put too many out there in case I was overwhelmed with COVID and couldn't follow through in getting these out to you guys in time to send them for Easter or make them, you know, or be inspired and such. But I felt like, you know what, I'm pretty comfortable now. So I just want to show you various punches and dies that you can use. And then I have some alternates laid out here too that you can think through, like, what do I already have, or other things that might work as well. So just kind of paper piecing and punch art and that to make this all work today. Hi there, Marie. Thanks for joining in. But before I get started, one other thing quick is congrats to Julie Nystrom. She was my winner of the Punch Party giveaway from last week. So if you go to this page today, I posted another picture of Punch Party, and it's the official place where to register. This will be week number 3, March 8th through the, no, 16th, 15th. Today's the 6th. I don't even know. Today through Sunday. There we go. Anybody that places their photo in the comments of what they're working on will get entered to win this stamp set. So I've given away 2 for weeks 1 and 2, and I'm going to give away 2 or 3 more of these sets as well. So like I said, just look for the picture of these, and then you can see how to enter, when to enter, and where. And keep entering. Don't feel like, oh, one and done. Keep entering. I love that. So that's my reminder, and I probably won't remember to remind you guys again, and it's going to go all week, and then I start all over with a new week. So let me get my camera turned around for you guys. Hi there, Ginger. Hi there, Mary. Okay, so once again, here is the Easter card that I'm putting together. And when you see this paper here, kind of warm, fuzzy looking, I wanted something warm and fuzzy, and I was almost going to get out an embossing folder to give some paper that warm, fuzzy look, but I decided to use this, and this is from the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. So you can see I love kind of keeping all my scraps in there, and I think it gives you guys a good visual of, oh, In Good Taste. That's the paper package that has the hardwood and kind of the nice suede looking, fabric looking, tile looking, all sorts of textury papers. And so I bought 2 or 3 of these packs right away because I knew that it would be able to last through many cards of many different styles just because of all the different textures. So that is where I'm pulling that from, and a lot of it is very masculine looking. So I had all of my pink pieces yet to use for that. Hey there, Tori. It says on the back, because whenever I get to making my cards, I always reference the back as far as like what colors would look good with this. And the color it gave me was petal pink. And as I was putting my card together, it just wasn't coming together and wasn't coming together. And this is true petal pink, so it's not like this is off. but I just did not feel like it jived with that. So I wanted to let you guys know in case you do order one or the other thinking like, oh, this will be perfect. But another color that they gave me in the package was Rococo Rose, and I thought that was just too rosy of a color. It was okay, but what I'm using today to kind of just make this pop, and it's not a lot of it, but what I'm using is Blushing Bride, and so my ribbon's going with Blushing Bride. It's called Blushing Bride Metallic Ribbon, but it also, because of it's kind of dual colored, it also goes well with Petal Pink, so that's why I love this ribbon. But I just felt like Blushing Bride was the best combination for today. And anytime I can pass along a hint or a tip, I love to do that for you guys. Thanks, Deb. Now, this Happy Easter, Happy Spring, Happy Everything comes from Timeless Tulips. And so this is in the annual catalog. And so annual catalog here on page 21. And tomorrow I'm kicking off Ginger Anderson's virtual party, and she had kind of mentioned that she'd like to see something with a tulip. So you'll be seeing something this week at using that in a different way. So thanks, Tori. And then just something that I wanted to point out is I'm using the oval punch for the bunny ears. And there too, you guys could use other things. So this oval punch is for the inside and outside, and I'll show you more, but it's not going to be available to order. Like, it's not even like it's on back order. I think now you can't even order it. I was going to check and then I totally forgot. So you could use a stitched shapes, framelits or dies, because there are some nice ovals in there too, or even the layering ovals would work. And some of you were able to order this punch before that happened to it. So one of those things where it just became way more popular than anticipated. But if you go, you know what, I still like it, where's it at? It's from the mini catalog on page 65, and it can be part of a bundle, which it's a super cute bundle there too. So that's where that's from. And then later, I kind of like to just get this out of the way. Later, I will be using this Banners Pick-a-Punch, and that is a carryover item from the holiday catalog. So there are still things that are available from that, and that is page 65. So that can be purchased separately, still as a bundle, because both of these things are still available. Like, you can order them today because it has carried over. So if this looks familiar, that is why, from the holiday catalog. Hi there, Cheryl. So yeah, sometimes I get busy and I forget to reference, and sometimes you guys watch my videos over. And so if I put all the information of where to find things right in the beginning, you don't have to sit through the whole video to watch that. So this is what I'm going to make for those of you just joining. So what I think I want to do first is grab this double oval punch and I was trying to think, 1.25 inches is all you would need. This is a little bit wider than that to put in if you want to not waste any extra of this to punch it out. So I'm going to get like this and that. So I'm going to need 2 of these. Thank you, Cheryl. I just thought it was kind of fun. Sometimes I see these punch art things and I never know if it kind of looks like a mess because I'm using a lot of stuff today, but yet sometimes it's just fun to, I don't know, kind of out of the box create, not have everything be so set. Hey there, Jerry. Hi, Laura. Good to see you guys. So then for the top, that's going to be the outside of the ears. I'm going to do 2 of these as well, like so. And like so. And then this is just like a strip of white cardstock. 2.75 is a good strip size to have that easily punch those out as well. Okay, I think I'm going to just put these 2 together. I noticed when I was putting things together, I had, like I said, different cardstock colors out and all sorts of things going where I almost lost the insides of my ears. That sounds funny if you're not a crafter. I lost the outsides of my ears, the insides of my ears, as I had lots of stuff going on my desktop here. So that I'll put aside. And then next, I think what I'm going to do is get out my stitch shaped dies. So the only thing that I'm using here, but like I said, you could use these for the ovals and such. The only thing I'm using is the third largest round circle. So that's going to give us our circle and give us a nice stitched look here. So I'll get out my cut and emboss machine, lay that die down. And here too, if you have a large circle punch or just the layering circles, that would work too. But of course, I always think that that stitching adds a lot to it. Hi there, Angie. Okay, so sometimes as it comes out, I just kind of have to smooth that down so you can see the stitching there. And I feel like sometimes when it gets sticky, when I pull it out and that happens, I just need to run my die through with some Reynolds wrap, and that just, or wax paper. Sometimes a Reynolds wrap will make it sharper so that it just because it's sharper, it'll pop out easier. And sometimes using wax paper will kind of free it up and just kind of give it a nice coating. So those are my tips today for the dies. And before I get too far with this, I'm going to make my bunny face. I'm just going to get my camera, I think, just a hair closer. Get it hair closer because I'm making a rabbit. Okay, so here's my Blushing Bride ink pad, and I'm going to open that up and find my sponge dauber. I like these for little tiny projects like this. Just fits easily on my finger. And I'm just going to lightly tap on my ink pad, and sometimes I'll kind of even tap out on my scratch paper to make sure that I haven't tapped on an area that's more saturated than I think it is, and then it's always that surprise that isn't good. So I'm just going to kind of just circle around in an area kind of off to the side like so. I just kind of want to make sure that they're equal, but it doesn't have to be like really majorly. You get the point, like so. So we're just going to add some of that and set that down. And then how I'm going to come up with the nose here is, here we go, my dog builder punch. And here too, Stampin' Up! Has had different punch packs where they've had hearts, like a heart and a star and a flower or something like that. But I really like the ease of pulling this out to make this this heart punch out really easily. So I'm just taking a little strip here, and actually when I was making my card like so, the card base is Thick Whisper White and then Blushing Bride and then the Designer Series paper. When I cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4, I get an awful lot of these 1/2-inch strips. So it works really well to just feed that into that heart area only. So we don't have to worry about getting any of the dog because we don't need that this time. And there's even some dies, of course, that have some hearts within that too. And because my heart's really tiny, I'm going to use just one of these mini dimensionals because they are tiny. So that works great for that. I'm just going to tip that over and put that on. And I don't think this could be any bigger or it would show on the sides of the heart. So that's, I always think Stampin' Up! Knows what they are doing. Like they create the things exactly like it should be. So there we have that, like so. And then one of the markers that you can buy singly is the basic black, and I'm so glad that we can. Oops, I need this end because it's one that I love to use every so often just for things like this. So I'm just gonna make a J and then a backwards J. And I am not good at all with doing freehand art. So I hope when you get your cards, you're okay with how your rabbit face is going to look. And so if there was a stamp that had this, I would be right there to get it because that would help me tremendously. But I point out my faults because I know I have them. All right, so we have that, and that's where I'm going to just stop for now and put that aside. And then I'm going to put my pretty Designer Series paper here and just see how fun the back, like kind of like a tile look there. That looks good. Oh, thanks, Lois. Lois says it looks perfect. You're too kind. Okay, So then this is going to go, like I said, on Blushing Bride here. And then before I go to put this on my thick cardstock, kind of when it comes to card bases, like to use the thick thick basic white now it's called, just because I think it gives it a sturdier base. Not that the other is terrible by any means. And actually I'm going to scoop my camera back up a little bit just so my hands don't bump it. Okay, so here is that Blushing Bride metallic, whoops, that's not English, neither is that. There we go, metallic ribbon. And this is in the mini catalog. For a while this was on back order and not orderable and such, but I think now they have kind of caught up, and I'm pretty sure that I have seen that you can easily order this. So I used a lot of it for Valentine's, but one of those that I think it, you know, could be used all the time because of the color variants. I love that it's just so satiny on one side and then sparkly on the other, like so. So I'm just going to kind of try and get that halfway straight, and then get my ribbon cutting scissor here. Just going to do a flat square cut off, nothing at an angle for this. Try and make sure that they're equal. Like that, okay. And then now this is ready to go on the card base. So I'm just going to grab my seal here, glide along, and sometimes when I have ribbon, I'll put a stretch there and also along the bottom so that we have it sticking really well. With ribbon, sometimes that close to the bottom, it might want to pop up, but with this stuff, it's really does the trick well. Okay, now it looks a little crooked. I'm going to try and pry this up before it sticks too much. When that happens, if you need to adjust your ribbon, I find just kind of kinking up the corners, there we go, allows it to move pretty free. Okay, so we have that at the bottom, and then I'm ready to take some adhesive and put that along on the bottom here as well. And I kind of want it to get close to the bottom so that there's plenty of room for everything else that I need and want to add to it. If you feel like this gets up into your rabbit, like sometimes it looks cute when it pops up, if you think I don't like that, it's easy to just take a glue dot too and just kind of make that settle down and put it in its place like so. Sometimes it just has a mind of its own. Okay, and now these ears, I'm going to add some adhesive. And on purpose, I kind of had them go closer to this edge on the bottom and farther away at the top, just kind of as a natural way that ears would look. But I'm also going to take a dimensional and put that at the top of each ear, and I'll show you why and how that's going to look. So I need to take off my little pieces there. So now I can take and put that and just kind of sneak it underneath there a little bit more maybe, because I still want to save room for the sentiment. Whoops. And I'm going to sneak that in and try and have it, by eyeing it, have it be equal. Okay, like so. And what that does, so having some adhesive, it holds it down, but then having those dimensionals there at the top just kind of makes them pop up a little bit. But if I put dimensionals overall, then I wasn't sure how that ribbon would look if I had dimensionals under here and such too. So thanks, Dawn. And now I think we are ready for some eyes. Yes, let's get some eyes on this rabbit. So the matte black dots have been perfect for so many things this season from the mini catalog too. And I'm just going to take from the larger size, so you can see there's the smaller and the larger. So I'm going to take, here, let me start on the edge, some of those. And I found I played around with this rabbit face way too much longer than I should have. I found the closer I put the eyes on the rabbit, the better it looked. And so here are some things that I played around with, and I always like to show you that as well. I had a larger heart from a punch, and that was just okay. And when I thought my card was going to be petal pink, whoops, I had some petal pink sponging on there, and then I even did like 3 lines on each side for a face. But I kind of like today's card with just the pink cheeks and not the whiskers. And then I tried to take some different designer series paper from the peony, pretty peony. And then last week when I made the ties, those long neck ties, there was that piece from the top, and I thought, well, that would make a cute little nose too. So I even made my circle larger, the next size larger of my stitch die, and thought, well, maybe that'll look okay. But it just wasn't getting it to come together, even though there was ribbon that matched that. And then I realized I was just working with the wrong color, and sometimes that's all it takes. So yeah, thanks, Pam. So another option for either the ears or the background there is, if you guys have been purchasing like the 6x6 Settles Designer Series paper pack, that is great for anything that's pastel. So you could have your bunny just plain ears with this, and then just making the background be any of those pastel colors, and I think that would look super great as well. Okay, so now we need to get the sentiment. Here it is, and I'm going to ink that up just in black ink, and I'm taking a strip here that's 3/4 inches wide, and I'm going to put it on my Stampin' Mat because that Timeless Tulip stamp set is photopolymer. So I want to make sure with all the words on here that the Stampin' Mat gets that to stamp out really nice, and it does. So I'm just leaving about that much room there, and I'm going to once again just eye this and leave about that much room on that side too. And next I will use, let me put this on so I don't get black ink where it shouldn't go. Next I'm going to use that Banner's Pick-a-Punch, kind of debating which side, but I'm going to use this today. Oh, thank you, Julie. I love it when you say I get something right, not because because it's just like, oh, when I freehand things, that totally freaks me out. And today was a little bit out of the box for me. Okay, so I'm just going to chop off the edge there and then slide that in. And the Banner's Pick-a-Punch will give you great punches for 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. So I'm going right in the middle here because it's 3/4. So it makes lovely banners on both sides there. And then I wanted to give it kind of a fill in because when I put this on my card, I just thought it just kind of looked a little plain, not terrible. Oh, and let me show you what else. So I was actually debating about the Blushing Bride for a softer look across the top, same sentiment, same banner punch, everything. But I felt like with this busy soft paper that it just kind of blended in and like just wasn't even hardly there. So that's where I thought the black would be better, and then it kind of ties in with some of the black accents there. But I went one step further, got out one more punch, which is it the Every Classic Label Punch? I think it's called Classic Label Punch from the annual catalog. And I'm just going to put a little strip, that same strip of Blushing Bride in. And then with my scissor, I'm going to cut that in half. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. So then on the back of my sentiment, I'm just going to run some tape there and then stick so that there's just almost like a little tongue sticking out. I'm just centering it there and there like so. So it just kind of ties the pink and that black together. And then I'm going to grab my dimensionals. Whoops, I think the sticky tape stuck to my finger, and move that just a hair. That's my word of the day, the hair, because I'm making the rabbit card. Okay, you guys can tell it's Monday. Monday I'm usually on my game, so I don't know why Mondays are always the best for me. Okay, let me get rid of these papers here, and then the card is almost done. All right, so I'm just going to put that across the top like so, and I did save enough room for just that. So that is today's card, the Easter Bunny card. I think this is going to drive me nuts, for whoever gets this card is going to get a little bit of a glue dot to hold it down, or maybe I'll retwist it or something. So because it's an Easter card, I never know what people like to write in the inside and such, so I'm going to leave this one blank. And because there's so much going on with kind of a softer, busier background and other accessories and such, I didn't want to add any more pearls or rhinestones or anything to that. Just because kind of I think it would take away from the whole proportionate face of the rabbit and such. So this is the card for card number 10 already. So it's the middle of March and I feel caught up, but that is because I haven't done, oops, let me get my tripod figured out here. I haven't done any virtual hostess cards yet, but that will be tomorrow. Thank you, Lois. Thanks so much. So how to get the March bundle of 10 cards is if you are going to be ordering or need some things, and don't feel like you have to rush with this. I usually appreciate knowing by like the 25th or so of the month, and so you have plenty of time for that, and whoever signed up, that's who I work on first and get those out. So some cards will already be going out tomorrow, but if you want the set of 10 cards, just let me know and I'll put you on my list. And they're $22, or if you need to order and your order is $75 or more, then just add that host code and then I'll know that you want the March Stamp Camp cards too. If you're placing a larger order, and sometimes this happens when your order is $150 or more, I let you choose, and you can either redeem the host rewards, which is 10%, and then as your order goes up some more, that might become even more than the 10%. It could be 12 or 14%, and so you can choose if you want my cards that way or to redeem the host rewards, but you'll still get at least one card from me in the mail with a thank you and or a receipt. So if you need help ordering, let me know that too. But tomorrow I will be back and I will be starting Ginger Anderson's virtual stamp party, and I already have like 2 out of the 3 designs ready to go in my mind. So I hope that they turn out like I want them to for you guys on paper, literally on paper. So have a great day. Hopefully today's snowstorm didn't become too detrimental for you. My hubby, of course, always wants to try out the road. So we went out for lunch today and to see what that was like. But it's kind of good to be back home and snuggled in, and I think I'll be getting a lot of cards done after I post today's still shot of the card and all the supplies to use it, because he's out moving snow and that gives me time to have it just quiet in the house too. Have a great day. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.